Dear twin flame souls out there, welcome to the Twin Flame Awakening Journey podcast, and today is an episode 138. In today's episode, I'm going to share 10 mindset hacks that you can use or actually remember while you're going through that twin flame journey. We know that this journey is not linear. We know that this journey brings up this and that here and there, because it's the awakening, it's the connecting to you, to the source, to the love, to the connection, to the most divine presence of all. But it can be very confusing. One day you can feel like, oh, I have divinely surrendered, I can feel love, I can feel the connection, I can have the telepathy. And the next day you find yourself in darkness, you cry out of nowhere, you feel the longing for them, all you wish is to have a message or some kind of a sign from them that they feel it too. They know that the love exists between you and your twin. And then you can spiral. Especially when we have energetic shifts and changes, whether it's the solar flares, new moon, full moon, energy activations, when you work with an energy, a lot of times it can bring up a lot of healing and transforming. Right before I go into that, I really want to say this, that when you do the energetic work, often you can feel also very much of the low energies, meaning of crying, lonely, feeling like confusion, all of that. And there is a reason for this. The reason is your ego. The ego is starting to spiral at this moment, and it tries to pull you back where you were before that. And that's why I love energetic work, and that's why I believe in shifting energies. That's why I believe in going to the heart space, because we can't control that from the mind. And even though today we're going to talk about the mindset hacks, they are actually energetic. They're energetically connected. And I highly actually recommend maybe to write down a few of them or have them in your journal or somewhere in the visible, that when you spiral, that you can read or connect or take a moment out of this podcast and just calm yourself down. So that's what I'm going to talk today, and hopefully it will help you, especially when things are difficult. Because I know that the love is inside of you, and it's ready to awaken, and it's ready to feel, and it's ready to feel that inner union, that what we talk about, that in order for you to get your twin flame back to your life, you need to have the inner union. And that's somehow the truth. I also want to say that in May, those of you who commented, I printed out all the comments, I cut them up, I was pulling out the winners, 4 winners we had, who will get $100 on their bank account, and you can do whatever you wish to do, it's your time. You can see that on Instagram, I also put it on a YouTube post where you can see, and we write for you the email that you can get in touch with us to give us the details how we can deliver that energy exchange to you. So thank you for that. These comments were absolutely beautiful, and I take a time to reply because there were so many wonderful comments. I was just afraid of reply during the May because I thought that maybe I'm going to lose them, but turns out I figured out that I'm not going to lose them. So you get to see the winners on the post over here. A little bit delay, but here we go. It is exactly divinely planned. So today's we're gonna dive into the journey that is overwhelming, and sometimes, like I said, it can feel magical, and the other days you are absolutely confused. So the first thing is actually what I want to say about it is the fact that you are always one. So now if you can connect to the energy of realizing, because so many of us, and I believe whichever YouTube channel, whichever twin flame coach, whichever spiritual coach of yours you have connected to, and whoever has connected to the twin flames has told you that your twin flame is you, energetic blueprint of you. It doesn't mean that they are exactly as the same person. So let's not get confused of ego and the spirit, the energy blueprint. And also why I talk about it in that manner is that we are all one. We are all coming from the one source. We are all one. I have seen this many, many times with the people are in my group. When we do the activation, when we go to the deep meditations where we have the Kundalini, that we are able to connect and talk. We are one. We are energetically one. Now, on Twin Flame Journey, there is a one thing, like I say, it does not mean that the soul's blueprint is exactly the same. For example, I am having also a different life right now where my consciousness is expanding, meaning of I'm having a different life. I'm learning different things. I'm having different experiences. Whether I'm having my experience right now as a woman, in the next life I might have it as a man or my previous, or as a dog or however. But what I mean is that twin flames are holding a similar frequency together, meaning of that's why the activation happens from there. That's why you feel the love. That's why you feel home. You feel connected. You see something so amazing that it's difficult to explain. So now when I say that your number one mindset hack of this is that you are one. So when you are missing the person, or when you don't feel the love, or when you feel alone, you need to tune in within yourself, because through yourself, you can actually connect to them. So every time, and that's why we cannot separate, because when you separate, you are staying in a separation of believing that it's another person. But what Twin Flames teaching us that you are one. And in order for you to feel that love and that connection and that understanding, you need to dive into you are one. And you have this love inside of you. I know 100% you can connect to that. And even here is just a very, very simple exercise. You close your eyes, you breathe in, you breathe out. Breath is a powerful tool for you to connect. And you just say, but I'm one. I'm one with you. I feel you. I feel your love. I feel the connection. I am love. And you can repeat that as many times as you feel and just connect to the source of oneness. Try not to think of the separation. And here is another thing for your mind that works very well, and I see this very often, is the content around separation. I've said many times that you become what you consume. And if you every day are focusing on the fact that you are separated, then you are separated. Because you are connecting to the energy of separation. You're not connecting to the energy of oneness and love. And one of the rules of this journey, or one of the laws of this journey, is to go back to the oneness. So just look a little bit of what you consume, how much separation context, like how much separation content you are using and what it does to your body, and how much union content are you connecting to. Connect to the oneness. So now the number 2 mindset hack would be for you, where you realize that I don't chase and I attract. Meaning of, instead of needing or forcing something to happen, you start allowing things to happen. And you start feeling that I don't have to run after anything. It's already mine. I know it's a very difficult mindset shift to do when you are in lack. When you are lack of love, when you are in pain, when you feel like nothing is working out for you. I had another day a beautiful soul calling me up and said to me, I know you always talk about it, how divine this connection is and how much love you can feel on this connection and how it's this and that. But I'm going to tell you honestly, I don't see anything divine on this connection. All I see is pain and my life falling apart. And I know, I agree with that. My life fell apart. My ego fell apart. Everything I used to believe and connect to fell apart. A lot in my life changed. And if I would have heard my own words at this time of saying that this is a very divine and the most beautiful connection you can ever experience in this life, I'd have said, I'm so much in pain, I don't see that. But in the sense of I don't chase and I attract, you magnetize what's aligned by standing in your truth and embodying in your energy. And that's why, again, I always repeat the same things. And not because I don't have anything else to say. It's because we are magnets. And whether you believe me or not. And we attract of what is inside of us. And if you keep on being in a loop of the same thing over and over and over again, then it's time to change that magnetism. It's time to change the frequency of yours. And no one else can do that for you except you. Meaning of, you start working on your frequency. Yes, like I said, I do the Kundalini activations. I do the like energy activation. I call that energy activation because it's your life force energy. And it can be very intense. Meditation. Number one thing is the meditation to start from. Then Reiki or holotropic breath work. Anything, you all have what it works for you. But why I talk about it is that if you don't take that step of feeling, I keep on doing the same thing. I repeat the same words. I repeat the same history. I keep on doing the same thing over and over and over again. Then it's time to change something in your magnetic field because you attract what your magnetic field is. And another day, I'm so proud of so many of you who have joined on our Patreon workshops. As I can see the shifts and changes that are happening, and that's why I often say about it that I know that you go far. I know that you are going to have a harmonious union. You're going to live the life from the heart. You're going to connect to. And I've said that many times on my podcast as well, that none of the things I do are here for keeping you in a loop. Meaning of, I feed more for your dopamine. No. For me, it is about giving you the tools that helped me tremendously, that I am embodying every day, despite the fact that I can feel aligned. I practice every single day. I have my energetic work planned, like I said, twice a week Reiki, once a week Kundalini activation. Then I do every morning from 5:30, 5 o'clock, I have my morning practices and so on. And it doesn't mean that I'm better because of that, not at all. It just changed everything inside of me. And I know when our inner world changes, everything else will align to the place. But it's also a process, and we have to understand why I will bring other things in here that are very normal on this journey and for your mind, easy to accept. We're none of us gonna be perfect. I'm far away from perfect. I'm just a human. I'm soul who is having a human experience. I'm far away from perfect. But I hear my soul, and that's what I wish for you. To hear the truth, to hear that soul and living from the heart space, that you are not in fear. And I don't chase and I attract. It's not just like an affirmation we're going to say. We can use that, of course. But when you chase, you're telling to the universe that something is missing. So you are in the state. I spoke about this in my last episode where I said, if you are in hunger today, you're looking for a piece of bread. And so you're chasing for this next stomach to be full. But if you're full of food, you don't chase. You feel relaxed. And you can give for the universe, in that sense, a message that you're lacking out of love, attention, connection that exists outside of you, and that you need to reach for it. But energetically, chasing creates a resistance. And it pushes what you want even further away. Because the frequency you're operating is rooted from the fear, your control, trying to plan everything. And we know we don't micromanage the universe. But when you stop chasing and you turn into inwards, like I said, the first mindset, you go inwards, something really profound will start to happen to you. And you shift your frequency. You move from lacking to present moment. You come to here. And you start receiving. And remember, everything in this universe always responds to your frequency. Always. There is no point of blaming anybody else or judging anybody else. Everything is your frequency. Because you're constantly emitting an energy through your thoughts, emotions, and intentions. And that's why I always say, don't trust the words. Don't trust the beautiful picture. Don't trust what someone can perform or say or do. Trust the energy. When you close your eyes, what do you feel? Do you feel that it's authentic? Do you feel that it's trying to manipulate you? Do you feel it's telling you the truth that is not truth? What do you feel when you see something or you hear something? What your soul is telling you? Do you feel the connection? Do you feel something is there? Something that opens your heart? Or do you feel, oh no, that's not true. That's not real. Connect to that space. And in the universe, and including your twin flame, everything responds for the energetic signal. And it's more than anything you say or do physically. That's why I have spoken a lot about how manifestation does not work when we just repeat certain things. It's the beginning. But when we do not shift the frequency inside of our heart, when we do not clear the blockages from our three lower chakras, it's very, very difficult to see the shift in real life. And it's not because I want to tell you that you're doing something wrong. It's about the energy. And it took me a while to figure that out. And that's why I'm thankful for my twin flame, because that encounter, that love, activated this kundalini, which started to clear everything up inside of me that was not in line with my highest purpose. And today, I'm very humble to this energy. When I work with this energy, I give a gratitude, I connect to it. I feel it's the divine. And that's where it brings me to the source, to the oneness. And maybe for you, it's something else. But I always say, don't limit yourself. Because when you are in the center, when you are grounded in your truth and in your love with your own soul, you just naturally begin to attract. There was another morning when I went for a longer walk, for a walking meditation, we can call that. And one of the channeling messages, one of the things that came to me, it was like, tell me one person who doesn't want to be magnet of a beautiful love, wealth, health, connection, friendship in this world. Tell me one person who doesn't want to be that. But sometimes we get stuck in a loop of suffering, our old past, and we don't know how to let go. And now we are in a perfect time where so many of us are waking up through that twin flame love, which is so beautiful because it opens the heart. Nothing more beautiful than opening the heart. Painful, scary, absolutely. It can be very brutal. But the divine love that you're going to feel, and that's what you felt. And when you are in love with your own soul, you just, like I said, you naturally begin to attract. So that's why you don't have to chase. You are the magnet. Just please connect to that space and you will see what starts to happen. I've heard many of you have done my heart meditation. And I have new ones coming up because for the Lionsgate, they are in a production right now. And you have said that, wow, what has happened to me afterwards? Connect to the heart. And when you start to attract this, not because you're trying to, because your vibration becomes a match to alignment, peace, and union. And that was the first thing I wanted to tell you. When you feel lost, try to connect to that union. Try to connect to this oneness. You will see the shift. Now the next thing is actually when we talk about the union and I don't chase and I don't attract, the third thing would be that every emotion is welcome. If you feel like crying, there's a day where you wake up or you sit in your car and the tears are coming down like they never came before, or you feel missing them, or you feel anger towards them, or you even feel judgment, anything you're going to feel is normal. And you need to sit with that. When there was the most intense time of my journey, I think I cried 3-4 hours unstoppably. I couldn't stop it. The tears were flowing out, flowing out, flowing out. And at the time, I felt that this is the wrong thing for me to do. But I couldn't stop it. Or I feel anger or resentment that this is not fair, this is unfair, there was all of that. And again, in certain part of myself, because spirituality should be where we feel so much bliss and we feel so much inner union. The same way like I speak. Although, I'm going to tell you here, now I validate every of my emotion. And I sit with that. Sometimes I come back from the Reiki session and I don't know why, but I'm crying. Sometimes in the Kundalini activation, I feel, let's say, enormous amount of sexual energy, or I feel sadness, or I feel pain in somewhere, but I don't judge it. I feel it. I let it happen. And that's a very big misconception on a healing journey, that we're going to feel only peace. No, we're not going to feel peace. We're going to feel that like something is breaking us apart. Something is like taking your bones and cracking them open. Your inner world is so vulnerable. You can't function anymore. And that's why many of us don't go into the healing. We don't step into our inner world because there's so much. And so that's why a lot of things in this world you can see where it's been either we go under medications or we rely on something else. But you have the power to shift and change. You have today the decision to make a difference. And that's why I always say that Why I love energetic work? Because you can't lie energy. You can't. You simply cannot. I can think today, oh, I feel so good. I'm so happy. Look at me. I'm in the inner union. I'm so happy. I have this. I have that. And I go into the session and the energy starts moving and starts showing me. And I cannot hide that. And that's one of the reasons why I love this. Because we don't need to gaslight or lie ourselves. If you need to cry today because it's painful, because you feel lonely, because you feel that your life is falling apart, because you don't know anymore who you are, because you're missing them and you would like to have that human experience, then cry. Sit there and cry. If you feel anger, you feel restless, feel that anger and let that anger to tell you something that it wants to tell you. If you feel pain in your body, let the pain to happen. Ask that pain, what you want to show me? Where do you want to direct me? And etc., etc. But don't feel that spirituality means that I am going to be this Zen being who is always happy, who is always centered, who is always connected. Yes, you can be there, absolutely. I know that because of the things I practice today. But I also validate my emotions. And I connect to them. Now that brings us to the next thing, the fourth mindset hack. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is your indicator. So this is another thing on this world where we think that we should never feel the pain. Where we feel that anything I will use, that I will not feel the pain. But we come to this world through pain. Labor, the birth, is through pain. Pain starts, like for a woman, if the woman goes into that, it's an indicator. Something is about to shift and change. Something is there, and the pain is telling you what your body should do, what you should let go of, what you should connect to, and what is there. Pain is not there to punish you. It's there to get you in the right direction. And on this journey, it's the same thing. This pain that you have felt is so deep. You have never felt the deepest pain that you feel today. Has opened something so deep inside of you that you didn't even know that existed. You didn't even know that you have these gifts, whether it's a psychic gifts, whether it's the healing gifts, whether it's the gift of being yourself. You didn't even know that they exist. And now, through that pain, longing, you can feel it. And you have experiences that you never had before. But if you wouldn't have that pain, would you ever open that door? Would you have ever made that change in your life? Would you have ever become who you are today? And yes, pain is not something I wish for someone. But I also know it is your indicator. It is telling you, and it's the same in your body. When you feel pain in your body, the pain is not there to make you suffer. The pain is telling you that something needs to change and shift. Whether you need to move your body, to build the muscles, to stretch yourself. Because if you don't listen to your body, the pain becomes a disease. And it's the same when your soul is in pain. When you don't listen to your soul, you will become more and more depressed, more disconnected. You don't know who you are anymore. And yes, sometimes you're going to go against the world. You're going to go against what others will tell you. But this is your journey. This is not theirs. This is you. You came to discover something incredible on this earth. Don't let anyone to tell you what is the right thing or the wrong thing to feel and how it should be. You are here to listen to your body, to connect to your soul, and live this life and expand the consciousness. And that brings me to the next mindset hack. When we talk of all of that pain, all of this thing, the fifth one would be that meeting your twin is not a punishment. It's not a punishment for you to this had to happen. You and your twin made that plan, whether you like it or not. You made that decision that this lifetime you're going to meet and you're going to help each other to raise the vibration. You're going to feel something so deep, so connective, and you're going to open the heart, because heart is the source to the oneness. When our heart chakra opens, we are able to feel everything. And our intuitive gifts will open our everything. But when your heart is closed, which is very difficult to open, it's very difficult to feel all of these things. So what I'm trying to tell you is that if you can today look at from the perspective, we made that plan already before I came to this human experience. It's not a punishment for me. It's not that I did something wrong. It's not this or that. We agreed on this. And this is my path. And whether you happen to meet your twin while you are in a relationship or your twin is in a relationship, whether you happen to have a huge age gap, none of this matters. Because you agreed on this divine time, divine place, and being ready for it. And don't punish yourself for it. It is a divine connection, whether you like it or you don't like it. You agreed on that. And the earlier you accept that I agreed, we agreed on doing this on this lifetime, the more in a union you become again. The sixth thing is, what I want to say to you is, and that goes together with the fourth and fifth, how about being thankful? Thankful that you were able to feel this love that shook you off the ground, that made you feel something you have never felt before, that started to break you through the illusion of matrix, that you felt the universe, you felt everything inside of you and around you, where the time all of a sudden didn't exist anymore, where you were connected to something so divine and what your body was feeling and all of this. How about being thankful for this for a moment, that you get to experience such a deep love? And I know I can often hear that, but everybody has a twin flame and everybody has this and that. Like, no, I don't think so. This is something very, very unique and very deep. Can you get yourself into a heart opening and all of that? Absolutely. Absolutely. The Kundalini is a master of doing it. But your soul evolution has to be ready for it. And that's why you felt that amazing connection. And without that person coming to your life, you would have never felt this. So give a gratitude of saying, thank you for showing me what real love is. Thank you for letting me to speak from my heart, even if it feels so scary, it feels so vulnerable. And I'm shaking like a leaf over here and I don't know what to do, but I felt something so beautiful that you gave me. And I'm thankful for that, forever. Even though in a separation we are longing for them, we are waiting for them, try to step into the gratitude. Thank you for coming to my life. The next thing is, the seventh one would be from here, that don't judge everything based on what you see. And that would be a very important part for you to realize that even if your twin does not say to you that I felt the pain, or I felt the love, or I felt the same divine love, and you can look at on their social media, or you haven't heard from them for years and you think that, look, they have moved on, look, they are so happy, look, they are this and that. Don't judge everything. I was one of them who masked most of my pain. It was scary. It was scary to show this vulnerability of my side. So I was sitting on my own, crying on my own, but for the society, I looked the most amazing ever. I was happy, so-called happy. And I just want to say that try not to always, when you see or when you don't receive the messages or when you don't see the so-called 3D truth, try to go within and see what is actually happening. Our inner world is messy sometimes. We see this often with a lot of people who, let's say, they come on the stage or they do something and they are there and you'd be like, oh my God, this person seems so happy. I had no idea that they were depressed. So that's why never judge your twin or even anyone on this world what they do. And again, it brings me back to the next thing, the same thing that I always reply. Trust the energy, what you feel. Because they might be going through a hell right now. But you are not trusting the inner voice of yours. Try to channel, try to connect to it. Try to feel what the oneness energy is telling you. And you have the answers, believe me. But it does not come from just like overnight. Try to connect every day, little bit, little bit, little bit. And just let it happen. Don't force. We never force the energy. Energy knows what it's going to do. You have the trust. And that actually goes together, the eighth one, where I say, trust your intuition. On this journey, you need to learn to trust your intuition. And when you start listening from your heart space, not from the mind, that's why again I say that when you feel that something is there, when you see the signs, when you see something, just say, I trust. I trust what it is here. I trust the divine. I trust that everything is happening for a reason. I connect to this from my deepest heart. Even though I don't know what's coming and the unknown scares me, I trust my intuition. If I feel sending a message, I will send a message. If I feel reaching out, I'll do that. If I feel like meditating for longer today, I'll do that. No meditation is waste. Whether you do this 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I'm just going to say a huge difference starts to happen when you do it longer. But start with 5. But start trusting your intuition. So as a mind, you think like, let's say, your heart tells you, you need to go and see that person. Then go and do it. Don't ask why, what is the result, what's going to happen. Go and do that. If you need to read that book, read that book. Start trusting your intuition. So the eighth mindset hack would be the fear that your twin will never return. You have to understand your twin will never disappear from your life. Never, ever. They're always there in whichever form, but they're there. And the more you're feeding yourself into the fear of, look, they are in the relationship, look, they have this one, they are away from my life, they are not loving me, the more you're creating that distance, resistance, and separation. Your twin came to your life for a reason, and they're always going to be around, energetically, always, and in 3D. I've spoken to so many of you, which I'm very thankful, and whoever needs to talk, connect, find themselves into the balance or connecting to the source, because I say the key element of this journey is to connect to the source. If you connect to the source, the magic will start to happen. If you think of the separation, look, my separation has been 20 years. Haven't heard a single word. Or this or that or this and this. You're creating the same pattern from the same energy. But what about when you step into and say, but my twin has been always with me and guiding me through that. This love, this connection, this knowing has always been there and guiding me in the places that I didn't even know exist. You start attracting it closer. And that brings me back to the fact of realizing that we often think that your worth that is defined by the union. And we see this also a lot on everywhere, that if you are not in a union, so-called relationship, you're not worthy. And that's one of the biggest illusions that we can have it on Twin Flame Journey. The belief that you only be happy, only be whole, only be one when the union happens physically. And your worth is not for something we debate or we say that's how your worth is. It's not something to be earned. And it's not dependent of someone choosing you, texting you back, showing up you in a specific way, or being ready at the same time as you are. And of course, this journey brings up one of the deepest wounds. We know that. Abandonment, rejection, not feeling good enough, not feeling lovable, unless we are validated by others. And that's actually one of the biggest disease we have right now on the earth. We need to have the validations from others instead of feeling it within. We feel that I need to do this, then others will love me. I need to show up like this, then I get the validation, the love, the connection. And it's not only on Twin Flames. It's the world is suffering under that. Because we have lost the connection with the source. We have lost the connection within ourselves. We don't know who we are. And you were lucky enough to meet your twin as a mirror to put you back in alignment and help you to become that love, that source. And the connection here, the twin flame connection, is here not to determine your value of who you are as a human. It is here to reflect back at you. And sometimes you are being shown is not how lovable you are for them, but how much you have forgotten to love yourself and connect to yourself. The love, the deepest love. I was then. I've spoken so many times. And this is how also energy works over here. The more you define by someone else's presence or absence, the more you unconsciously give away your power. And I've said that many times. People who gossip, people who talk bad about others, people who they constantly give away their power. That eventually they are like an empty vessel. And then they go and look for more of that dopamine hit to get that, I'm going to say bad about this, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say this. Because then maybe I get the energy. But you feel so deflated afterwards because you've given all your power away. But when you anchor back into your inner knowing, I am love, I am enough, I am whole, your energy starts shifting immediately. But I know it takes a bit of a time. So now from here we go into the point number 9. Mindset hack number 9. And that would be, don't get stuck on the outcome. Union is not the only destination, and stop micromanaging the outcome. And what I mean under this here is that we often get stuck of feeling that we can control everything. So we start imagining how the union has to be, how they're going to come to your life, what's going to happen, how you're going to feel, and all of that. There is a little bit of a truth of feeling this. But what do I mean is when we have expectations. We have an expectation that they're going to send you a message today. They are going to do this or that, or however they're going to be. And then they don't, and it will not happen. And then you fall down into this black hole of feeling, well, I wanted it this way and now it didn't come. And you can't see the light behind why did it go on this way. So it's the problem of, for example, you believing that the way you want things is the best way, but sometimes there is even a better way. So on this twin flame journey, it's a very common goal for your mind that there is only physical union, and that's the only happiness I'm going to ever have. And if I don't have the physical union, I will never be happy. I'll never be connected. I'll never feel love. But what we have heard before is that you have to feel the love, the connection, the union first before you can have it. And so the mind tries to stay stuck in like, once we are in a union, everything will be okay, I will feel complete, the pain will end, and so on. But I'm going to tell you that this is one of the biggest traps. You will not feel this way. And not because union isn't real or possible on your journey. It's because you are fixating it on it collapses your energy into lack and desperation. And anything you manifest from the lack or desperation, you're going to manifest in your life. So meaning of, they can come to your life, but then it's full of dramas, full of hurt, full of pain, not honesty, there is no openness. All of these things that I've been talking about and why it's so important to open the heart, the truth, the connection within you. And I see this so many times with the souls that have connected with me. The souls that have decided to follow my Patreon workshops, the souls that have booked the energy activations, the life force activations with me, or practicing by themselves, or however they do it. And they see the shift. They come to me and say, wow, now finally we are out of this loop. And also, like, I'm not going to say that you have to believe what I say, but no one really believes me if I say these things where I say, when you shift your frequency, when you shift the reality within yourself at the cellular level, and you can change the cellular level only with energetic work. It will not happen with the mind. It will not happen. And if you like it or you don't like it, that's okay. But if you cellular, like I can say, I will speak about this month a lot about Kundalini. They will be out on Patreon and on the memberships. When the Kundalini changed me on a cellular level, I never touched alcohol. I never touched alcohol again. I don't drink coffee. And it's not because I'm like, oh, I am so fancy. I don't drink alcohol and I don't drink coffee and I can, no. Something inside of my body shifted. Like we can call that as a curse or as someone like put a spell on me. Like it never existed for me. And it's the same with lack, desperation, love, everything. It will not shift from the mind. It will shift when we energetically shift. And there is cellular, like your cells change. And that's why I love the Kundalini energy. Yes, it's brutal. Yes, you can have an experience that makes you feel scared, anxious, uncomfortable. It can make all of this. But you want to liberate that, don't you? Because that's what comes inside of you. Do I wish that to someone, to see them suffering? No. But do I wish for someone to have a liberation? Yes. And it's the same with ayahuasca. Many people who have gone to ayahuasca, why do they vomit there? Why do they have purging? Because it's inside of them. It has to come out. So things has to change at the cellular level. And that's why I always say when we do the activations, when we connect to this, I always say, don't judge what you feel. Don't judge the anger. Don't judge the disappointment. Don't judge happiness. Don't judge anything. It's just something that comes from there. And that's normal. But I know, and I had just this week, I had quite a lot of them, where people have started to open their hearts. They say, but my twin came and told me this. I cannot believe that now they are telling their past wounds to me. They're sharing what has been actual thing behind that. And all I can say in that moment, well, I have said that. I've said. When you change your frequency and you work with your energy, however you do this, I always say you have free will to do anything, but work on your frequency if you want to see the shift in your life. And spiritually, when we are fixated on a future outcome, like we are rejecting the present. And what we have talking a lot about on here, one of the most famous book is The Power of Now. Yeah? The power of now is what it is. It's a present moment here, right now, right here. Nowhere else. But if you are projecting yourself into the future, you are already setting yourself into a disappointment. And what happens is that when we are rejecting the present, the now becomes not so good enough. And that mindset keeps us out of alignment with the very frequency that we need on the union. Union does not happen through the force. It's a byproduct of alignment, surrender, and wholeness within. It's not that simple. This word sounds very simple. But when our body is in a fight and flight, when our mind is trying to deny, when there are a lot of things we need to purify, it's not that simple. That's why I say that it's not something I'm here to say, oh, you should know that by now. No. But this mindset of predicting the future and having an outcome will keep you stuck. And the soul's purpose on the twin flame journey is not just a physical union, and we all know that. It is about self-realization, heart expansion, and remembrance of a divine love. Just union within. And that means that the deeper goal isn't just to be with someone, but to embody the love you are seeking, no matter how it is outside. And instead of, I need the union to be okay, and I need to have the union, then I feel as if I get the truth, I will be good. Try to shift to every step I'm taking on this journey takes me deeper into union with myself, with the divine, and if aligned, with my twin flame too. And actually, that's what happens. I see this. I can confidently say, and this is not something I'm making up, every one of you who have devoted that I work on my energy, I connect to the love, I connect to this oneness, has seen what happens with their twin. They open up. Connect to their frequency and energy. And the 10th point will go on from here actually. What if that everything that is happening right now is exactly how it should? The delay, the longing, and anything. What if everything that is happening is actually happens for you for good? How many times in your life you had a situation where, for example, you got fired from your job, or you had to move away, or you lost some friends, or something happened in your life. And in the beginning, it felt like, no, that's the worst thing that could ever happen to me. And then time goes on and you say, if this wouldn't happen to me, I would have never made that change. If I would have never felt that, I would have never started from here. And Twin Flame Journey is pretty much the same, isn't it? If you have never felt that deep, deep longing, the pain, the everything, would you have gone inside of you? And many people on this journey, and that's very normal, experience like hunger, like for this love, longing, pain. And we immediately try to soothe it by reaching for something. Whether it's chasing your twin flame, being in obsession, or settling for something that is not aligned. That's not aligned. But if that hunger, that ache, what you're feeling, is not something you escape from, but something you become sacred. Like imagine yourself that you are deeply hungry today, and instead of waiting for a nourishing, beautiful meal to be prepared, you grab just something junk food because you can't stand the waiting. You can't stand the process. And spiritually, that's what we do when we try to force or control the outcome. And rather than allowing the experience to get us ready. And also think about the fact that what if, for example, if you wouldn't have gone there, if you wouldn't have done this, if your twin wouldn't have had that experience, this experience, you would never be complete and whole. Everything is there for something, to show you, to learn, to grow, to shift, to transmute. For example, think about it. I thought about that. Like if I would have known that I'm going to meet so-called of my twin flame, would I have ever get married, had my children, all of that with my soulmate? And when I was in a pain and lack and not understanding, I would have said, I wish I would have known that. I would have not done this. Today, I'm saying, no. I have so many beautiful experiences and so many beautiful things that I can't even describe. And my children, my life, my friends, my partners, my everything are part of this, part of me, part of that essence. And God knew better. It just knew better what is good for me. Do I wish someone the pain and the longing and being all of that? No, not at all. But I'm also going to say that something knows better than you. And that's what makes the life worth it. Think about it if you would know everything. I give you today a book and I say, here is your life. You would wake up every day and you know exactly what it comes. Would you ever feel that excitement, that surprising, that feeling of unknown? The unknown is scary. But isn't that beautiful also when all of a sudden you wake up one day and let's say you receive a message from your twin out of nowhere, or you receive a gift, or you receive some words that you didn't even know that existed, and your body becomes alive and you are like, oh, what a surprise. Oh, it feels so good. Because if we know when we micromanage, we will not feel these energies, will not feel the unknown. And unknown is what helps us to feel the surprise and also connect to that knowing. I know it's hard. I'm not saying it's going to be easy in a certain ways. I might have said if I would have been in pain, I wouldn't have wanted to hear that what unknown. I want to know everything. But now I see the beauty of unknown. Beauty of getting yourself lost and see what's going to happen when I'm lost. And so much magic can happen. How we have said always that You know, when people have spontaneous parties, or spontaneously people come together, or spontaneously go and do something, and you have so much fun because nobody knows what comes. And then you try to redo that again. Next year you say, yes, we're going to meet at the same place. You remember it was so much fun. And then nothing happens really. There's a lot of expectations. There's how it's supposed to be, but it's not coming. The unknown is actually the magic. And also trusting that everything what you are experiencing right now is there for a reason. However your life is, but it's showing you something. I actually have so many more of them as usual, but I'm going to wrap it up for today. And these were the 10 things. You pick 1 or 2 or all of the 10 and see what starts to happen and change within you. Because remember, you are the only one who can bring yourself to the union. You and your frequency. And if you keep on doing the same things and you see that there are no results, shift and change. Get lost in the unknown. So yeah, these were the things for today. I hope some of them will help you. If not, find your own mindset hacks. Find your own truth. Find your own connection. So here I'm just going to go through a few things. On this Sunday, 8th of June, we will meet at the Patreon for another preparation for the Lionsgate event, where we uplift your energy, which you can continue doing it as much as you wish to do. On Patreon, we also have it out right now that if any of you want to join for 40 days, 5 a.m. sessions, we will do different sessions, meaning of 1 5 a.m. is for New York and 1 5 a.m. is for the Europeans. We will see how many of you are signing up for it, wish to elevate their energy into the highest frequency possible. 40 days is quite a good way of getting there, using the life force energy, the prana energy. This Sunday we will meet again. You can join through Patreon live session, or you can do that later. Live session benefit is just that because we do that energy facilitation. I will facilitate the Kundalini energy during this time, so it's just more powerful. And yeah, those who would like to have a session that they feel their soul is saying, I need an upgrade, I need to get out of this loop, I am stuck here. Another day I heard one person said that I got lost at one point. I started looking nonstop of the tarot readings, I didn't meditate, I didn't do this work, and now I came back to you because my soul started aching so much from this disconnection. And I was like, wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful that you heard your soul. No matter what we do in between, no matter what we have, like I always said, I have a huge trust that every one of you, everyone, and I know that, I just know, and it might sound very, very egoistic, who has devoted their time of uplifting their frequency will have a beautiful outcome. The outcome that will surprise them, the life that they didn't know that exists. The pain is just temporary. The pain will leave once it has taught you about the lesson. Anyways, these are the things: twinflameawakeningjourney.com, channeling, energy activation, or if you wish to just share your story to get more clarity what is happening to you, all of them are on the website. Feel free to connect. Make sure that you do that a little bit earlier, just due to the fact that in June we do have less availabilities. There are already pretty much booked up a lot of things. So just be aware, just be ahead. All right. Anyhow, lovely to have you over here. I'll see you again for another episode, and also for Kundalini information that starts to come out as I think you're ready for it.
You're
lots of
like
love
a ghost
and light.
in my mind. I can't escape you. I need to believe it was right letting you go, 'cause you are like a ghost in my mind. I wanna escape you, but I do not believe it was right letting you go. I can't stand the thought of losing you. Tell me, do you think of me too? 'Cause every song just reminds me of you and it kills me. No, it was a mistake letting you go. 'Cause every song just reminds me of you and it breaks my heart. You're still here though we're apart. I'm seeing your face in my dreams. I can't escape you. Like a movie on repeat, the scenes just go on. I'm hearing your voice in my dreams. I wanna escape you. I really think I made a big mistake. I want you to know I can't stand the thought of losing you. Tell me, do you think of me too? 'Cause every song just reminds me of you and it kills me. No, it was a mistake letting you go. 'Cause every song just reminds me of you and it breaks my heart. You're still here though we're apart. Don't tell me it's over now. Don't tell me it's over now. Don't tell me it's over now. Don't tell me it's over. 'Cause every song just reminds me of you and it kills